So one of MAGA's favorite talking points for years now has been the Epstein list. We hear them bring it up all the time. And in their minds, it's just one big list of Democrats. That's how they paint it. It's like all Democrats, Bill Clinton's on there, Joe Biden's on there, Obama, they're all on there. And no matter how many times you show them the video of Trump dancing alongside Epstein, laughing and whispering in his ear, cracking up, no matter how many times you show them that, they'll turn a blind eye to it. They'll go completely silent. You'll hear nothing but crickets whenever you mention that. So Donald Trump sits down with Fox and Friends for an interview, and a lot of people pointed out really quickly that this interview was heavily spliced and edited. And there's a reason for that, because this first clip we're going to take a look at, Trump is asked if he would declassify the Epstein files. And there's a quick cut right after he says, yes, he would. There's a quick cut. We're going to see that one first, and then we're going to look at another one, and let's see how they line up together.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Attorney General.
So notice he's asked if he would declassify the files. He said, yes, he would. Then there's a quick cut. But now let's take a look at the unedited version.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
So to JFK and to 9/11, he quickly said yes, he would. But to the Epstein files, he's pumping the brakes. Now, hold on a minute. There could be things in there that could really disrupt people's lives. There could be a lot of bad stuff in there. There could be a lot of fake news in there. There could be a lot of things that aren't true. So I would have to be very careful with the way I went about that one. Why did he say that? Why did he put it that way? If he is the guy who realized that Jeffrey Epstein was a bad dude and he got away from him real quick, well, why didn't he tell us that years ago? Why didn't he come out and say years ago, hey, you know what? I got hanging around this guy and there was some really weird shit going on. Never said a word. And now he suddenly says that he would pump the brakes on that one. All the rest of them, he would do it quickly, but he would pump the brakes on that one. Now I want you to imagine something for me. Play along. Let's say that CNN did an interview with Joe Biden. Same exact interview. They're talking. Joe Biden's asked about JFK. He says, yes, he would. Joe Biden's asked about 9/11. He says, yes, he would. Joe Biden is asked about Epstein. He says, yes, he would. Then there's a quick cut. Imagine if someone showed you the unedited version and Joe Biden was pumping the brakes going, I probably would have to think about that one for a minute, because that could really disrupt a lot of people's lives. If someone was to show you that unedited clip of Biden, MAGA would lose their minds. Your Fox News watching uncles would take a stroke. That would be the end of them. Every right-wing podcast out there would be featuring it. Mike Johnson would be talking about it. Joe Rogan would have all kinds of people on his podcast. They'd be breaking it down from every angle. Look here, watch this clip. Watch this cut. Watch this. Oh, my God. Why did he say that he would pump the brakes? Why did he say he wouldn't do it? Why did he say there was dirt in there? Why did he say there was fake news? They would lose their minds if Joe Biden responded that way. But yet Trump responded that way, and it's cool. Trump responded that way, and again, we're getting crickets from him on this one because it makes them uneasy. They have said and preached this stuff to us over and over and over again. And what do we say every time they tell us Bill Clinton's on there, so-and-so's on there? We always say, well, if they're on there and they done any wrongdoing, if they done wrong and you can prove it, you got the evidence, go for it. We don't care. We always say that. But they don't want their guy to ever have anything attached to him because he's their hero. Their lives are so fragile and they are so insecure in their own skin that Donald Trump makes them feel better about their lives. Imagine how miserable you have to be to have Donald Trump as your hero. That has to be pretty miserable. I have known people in my lifetime that have looked up to some questionable people. Hell, I might have too when I was growing up. There was people growing up that I probably, got into for a while until I realized what kind of person they were. And I went, yeah, I kind of got to distance myself from that. But they don't. They don't distance themselves from none of this. And they're perfectly okay. I think if it actually came out, if the list came out and all of a sudden I think if you had Trump on video on Epstein Island doing things, I still think you would hear crickets from them. I still think they would just look the other way because it's all about how they could jump on this idea that Trump is their savior and how he's out to make their lives better. And it's really sad. It truly is, because these people are out here, a lot of them, busting their ass trying to work for a living, barely scraping by. They don't understand how the system works. They spend a lifetime watching reality TV, and they think that everything operates like that. They think that he could run the country the way that he ran Celebrity Apprentice. They think all he has to do is yell, "You're fired," and he's good. They're not in touch with the way the system works. They're not in touch with the real world. They're completely in an alternate reality at this point. And so we can show them all the unedited clips we want to, and we're just going to get crickets. We can be reasonable, and they're going to come back unreasonable. Whatever we do, they're going to come at us with the opposite. I promise you, if they were burning in hell and we came to them with a jug of ice water, they would find a way to demonize us. They would find a way to say that we had no right giving them that ice water in hell. That's where we're at with them, folks. That's how far we have fallen as a country. It's such a shame that this is now what we're up against, and we're going to be up against for a long time, because I really don't think it's going away. I think in time, once Donald Trump's out of the political arena, I think the reins will just go over to somebody else, and it will just shift. We may see people walk away from it. We're starting to see a few, but I think the fact that if people adopt their philosophy, they get to dodge all accountability. Think about it. If you become a Maga tomorrow, you don't ever have to answer for anything again. You don't ever have to face the music. Everything's rigged. Everything's against you. You're right about everything. You can sit back when people present you with evidence and facts, and you can deny it all day. People will give you a passport. Joe Rogan will have you as one of his guests and sit and go, "Wow, yeah, Jamie, pull it up. Wow." It's just ridiculous where we're at as a country. But if we don't vote in November, we're going to be here for a long damn time.